What's good, y'all? I'm Skip.
And I'm DJ.
And we are back for another episode of DeCypherEd. And today we are breaking down the first full-length project from TDE artist Doja, Alligator Bites, Never Heal. And before we get started, DJ, how you doing?
It's great, man.
Alrighty. We back for another episode for y'all. If you are watching this on YouTube and you want to come over and join our Patreon and become a decoder, the link will be in the bio. But if you just want to description. But if you just want to support us on the free YouTube side, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe because that's the best way to help us on this side if you don't want to go over to the Patreon side. So we would greatly appreciate that. Share this to your friends who like hip-hop. And like I said, we are going to discuss Doja's first full-length project, Alligator Bites, Never Heal. And what are some of your initial thoughts, my friend?
Great project. I mean, I know she said this is a mixtape, but in some elements, it definitely sounds like it could have been an album, for sure.
I agree.
But I definitely like, because I don't really know that much about Doja, other than the few features I hear from her here and there, and of course the stuff on the radio, but I don't know her discography that well. So this is kind of like really my introduction for her, to be totally honest. So, and what I've heard on this project, I definitely enjoyed. I would definitely like to hear more. For sure, definitely. And like, I feel so it shouldn't have to be that long. Like, I would trim down some of the songs just a little bit, but overall, I'm definitely impressed with what I heard from her so far.
Yeah, man. I said that this was one of, from my ear, one of the top 5 albums I've heard this year. Album project, whatever you want to call it. This is in the top 5.
Yeah.
This is a revelation in artist development. TDE, a lot of people would say it takes them long to put music out, but a big part of that is perfecting the sound, and especially during the earlier parts of the artist's career, developing the artist. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And this is what happened when you properly develop an artist and continue. If you, like DJ said, he wasn't really aware of who Doja was. Once I heard her on The House is Burning from Isaiah Rashad, I kind of tried to keep up with her a little bit, but she was going through distinct changes, almost trying to find herself. Like, she had a Grace Jones era. She had a bunch of different eras. She went through a lot of different aesthetic shifts and changes, and then she found this era that she's in now. I don't know the name of it, but she's found this era that she's in right now. And for me, this is the most pleasing era that she has had aesthetically, for the most part, how she presents herself and the music that she's crafting. But the talent has always been there. Yeah. Because every song that I've heard her on, she was the standout. Because on the What You Said from The House is Burning, she was the standout. If I'm not mistaken, she was on the Smino. She was the standout. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and then she had a song that she put out with SZA called Persuasive. She was the standout. And then she had another song that she did on Colors. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Stressing or something like that. It was really dope. So I've been loosely paying attention to her. So when she released the lead, quote-unquote, single for this project, which was Nissan Altima, I was really excited because I was like, oh, no, like, she about to drop. And I feel like the label, when TDE is letting you drop, they have faith in what you're doing. But not only did her dropping give me that impression, but another thing that gave me that impression was the music video for Nissan Altima, which was remnant of the snippet from the All Right music video when Kendrick was in the front seat and everybody was, nodding their head like a freestyle was happening in the car. Yeah. So I was like, oh, they let her do that. So they must be very confident in what she has in the tuck for the project. And once I heard the project, I was like, okay, I see what's up. Like, I'm glad that they take their time with their artists. You know what I mean? And this is what happens when you do that.
Get Top on the phone.
Get Top on the phone.
What's some of your favorite songs, boss?
I got a lot.
Okay.
Catfish, Hide and Seek.
Okay.
Wait. Wait is one of the top 10 songs I've heard this year.
Okay.
Death Row, Nissan Altima, GTFO, Fireflies, and Beverly Hills. What about you?
I got Denial is a River,
Mm-hmm.
Catfish, Hide and Seek, Nissan Altima, and Slide.
Okay.
Slide is probably my favorite song on the whole album.
The skating rink.
Yeah.
Track. Yeah.
That's what that's the vibe it put me in. Like, oh, we at the skating rink.
Yeah,
bro.
that's what it feel like. I do like that song, but these right here that I got right here,
Yeah.
I like them better, man. What about favorite beats?
A lot of the favorite songs too is so Denial's a River, Hide and Seek, Slide, Profit, Fire, Boom Bap, and Nissan Altima.
Okay, I got Boiled Peanuts, Skip, shout out to you. Hide and Seek.
The gang's all here.
Man, no chip on my shoulders. Like, she shows so much personality on this project. Yeah. We'll get to that. But let me start over. Boiled Peanuts, Skip, Hide and Seek, Death Roll, Boom Bap, Nissan Altima, GTFO, Fireflies, and Alligator Bites Never Heal, the title track / outro.
Yeah, I think that's important. I'm glad you said that. And that's another reason why I think I kind of like it. And she showed a lot of personality on this album, a lot of different pockets, a lot of different flows, and that endears you to a lot of people when you show the people who you really are. And I think this is just the start of that, like the personality.
And I think that's why you like Denial is a River too.
Yeah.
Because that's the Slick Rick homage song, right? Yep.
I like that a lot. It gets me, because like I said, I don't know much about her. I didn't even know she was from Florida. She from Tampa.
Yeah, I didn't know, but I think I had heard it before. So when I heard it wasn't like foreign. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know for a fact. Nah.
And low key, like, I think we need to talk about that as far as Florida artists and they sounds.
That's a lot of them.
And they sounds all vastly different, bro.
Kodak, Denzel Curry, Doja.
Yeah.
I didn't want people to get confused because they get in the comments. Technically, her is from such and such. I'm like, I didn't mean her.
Yeah.
I meant Doja.
Yeah.
Who else? Because I know those three.
Ross.
We can throw in Ross, and then if you're doing that, we ain't got to go back that far. I don't want to talk about Trick Daddy and Trina them, but those four distinctly different sounds. And then Flo Rida and the boy that like a Doberman in the face, Pitbull.
Okay.
That's 6 completely different sounds. T-Pain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
So much versatility from Florida.
Yeah.
But since you brought up the South, another thing I wanted to say, just in reference to TDE in particular, the Southern artists that they pick up, I love that they pick up artists that pay deep homage and reverence to Southern artists.
Yeah.
I love
Isaiah
that.
Rashad is a good example.
I love that.
Like, the house is burning, you hear it all through that shit.
And on this, like, it just, like, the way she does this thing, I don't think you can roll these, but like how she does that, just the type of beats that she uses, it's just so much in this. It just feels Southern influenced, but not in no bitey type of way. It's just like, these are you can tell that the artists are very cultured. Like, TDE sees the culture and they understand the rawness and they know how to polish the rawness off to get you to a point of like this high level of professional artistry while still maintaining that rawness that makes it feel almost underground, but like underground on some type of unnatural steroid. You feel what I'm saying?
And I think, and this, not to get too sidetracked, I promise we're going to get to the album, but I think that's another reason why I feel as though historically artists from the North and things like that would hate on different regions like the South and the West, because for the most part, New York or just the North in general has one distinct sound.
And it ain't a lot of soul for real.
That it's just boom bap, you know what I'm saying? That, but the South, the South and the West, like, yeah, we have our cultural sounds, but within that, they sound so different from artist to artist to artist. That versatility it never came from that. You know what I'm saying? That's why when, in terms of like the North, I'm really talking about New York. Y'all can bash me, but it's a lot of issues when artists, like, they feel so they can't move past that era. because that's all that they have. We started this, okay, and then what? You know what I'm saying? They just always
and they didn't do a good job at reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
For example, you have Scarface in The Fix, right? Yeah. You have T.I. and what he did.
Yeah.
T.I. on some levels is is obviously a derivative of an artist like Scarface.
Right.
You have artists like Outkast. And then you can tell the places that they come from, but you can see how they evolved within themselves and elevated the Southern art form within itself. You can look at Future, and you can look back down the timeline and see Wayne and T-Pain to certain extents in his music. And then you look further into Future, and you see he's Dungeon Family adjacent. So it's like, you know what I mean? You got people like CeeLo Green, and you see the type of artists that, you know, come from that and where he came from, you know what I mean? So it's like the North, they don't have like that maybe from 2006 going forward reinvention on the artistic side. It's like they did what they did and they don't feel like, or they didn't find a way to constructively re-engineer the artistry from, you know, those eras without either being completely redundant, i.e. early Joey Badass, or trying to go so far that you create drill rap.
But okay. But yeah, I didn't want to die, but I just had to mention that because I feel as though she does well with her influences and how they come out, and her being another artist from the South. I do feel a sense of pride in that, you know. So I just
South got something to say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I just had to put that out there. But I feel as though even though the album is a little long, it's a lot to digest in here. She has a lot of things that she's.
All right, we back. Had a quick technical issue. What were you saying, DJ?
No, as far as like this album, I feel as though it's a lot of things that she had to get off her chest in terms of Doechii. And I want to just go through a couple of the things, and then we can go into details about them. But definitely fame, how well she's adjusting to it, or how well she's not adjusting to it. Just the industry in general, like the industry politics in terms of being on a major label, trying to do things that actually stick versus doing things that you truly want to, that you truly have a passion for. Let's see here. What was the other one? And just her having the ability to be confident in dealing with not only like her personal self, but confidence in the sense that now that you're seen as the big dog of the family, the breadwinner, how you gonna look out for the people that come after you and the people that work with you. And I feel as though she kind of, you know, had a hard time with that at some points throughout the album. And I like how she expressed herself on it. So what other, did you have any like things or concepts?
Sure.
That
you give me 1 second, bucko. I'm just pulling up Genius real quick.
Okay, you got this.
Yeah, because I don't want to not be prepared. But some of my themes and concepts were she is coming into a state of oneness with self and conquering self-doubt. And some songs that represented that for me were Hide and Seek and Wait. And like DJ said, her having label issues and struggles of artist development and multiple visions being hers and maybe Punch and, you know, some other heads at the label, and just a lot of people just trying to get her to do a lot of people having different expectations of her, and her trying to grapple with pulling back and doing what she feels like she should be doing. And the songs that represent that for me are Stankapoo, Death Row, Prophet, Boom Bap. I got a theory about Boom Bap too. Okay. Dealing with the pressure to be available for everyone. Mm-hmm. The interlude at the beginning of Bloom says that for me, as well as just the sentiment of the song of Wait and the last excerpt at the end of Alligator Bites Never Heal. Excuse me, when it was like everybody can't go.
Yep, I got that too. Yes,
Relationship highs and lows. Denial is a river. Oof. Beverly Hills, Fireflies, and healing through understanding. And she talked about having a bout with substances, in particular on Denial is a River and Skip. Yeah, but that's my themes and concepts. We can get into the bars that help tie everything in too.
Okay. Well, I first want to go into how she deals with fame, because for the most part, I mean, she's been around for a couple years, but this is the year that she's truly been thrown into the spotlight, to where, because she got the single, the Kodak single that's blowing up on the radio, like you hear it all the time. It's not only on urban radio, but it's on pop radio too. And I definitely want to touch into the pop stuff.
She got a song with, she just did perform a song with Katy Perry too.
But I said I like how Doechii tackles her real feelings on dealing with fame in the industry. She understands that even though she loves what fame brings, she hates how she feels after overindulging in the lifestyle. And I'll give you all an example. If you go to Denial's a River, in the third verse, she said, I mean, fuck, I like pills, I like drugs, I like getting money, I like strippers, I like date dreaming, I like the day parties in Hollywood, I like doing Hollywood shit. Snorted, probably would. What can I say? The shit works and it feels good, and my self-worth's at an all-time low after she's done with all that shit. And and that I really like that, just transparency, that she understands the fame and things like that Hollywood brings and the vices, and she just flats out admits it, like, I like doing a lot of this shit. It makes me feel good. It helps me put into a better state to where I can make music.
Yeah, especially when how I'm feeling at my base is low. So this kind of brings me out of the funk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once you get to a point, because she stated in the interview that now she's completely sober, she doesn't do anything. So that gives me the ability to assume or postulate that from that she reached a point of healing enough to appreciate herself and value herself enough to remove those substances away from her, so she can move on her own accord and have that mental health and clarity to a point where she can just exist in the manner that she feels is most conducive with positivity for herself. Because a lot of the stuff that happened in this, even in the Denial is a River, when she was talking to, I guess, her alter ego or whatever the case is, she was like, you mean drugs? She was like, nah, I mean, it's a plant. And then they just keep going back and forth. She was like, I'm not an addict. She was kind of like, I ain't even really ask you that. You doing a lot of projection. You know what I mean? The alter ego was like, I can see that you're having issues with drugs. And a lot of these issues that you're describing, they are exacerbated, with drug use. When you get to a point where you feeling like you at a low all the time, it's because that dopamine that you getting from them drugs is wearing off. You know what I mean? So you start to hit rock bottom more often because just of the chemical imbalance in your brain. You know what I mean? And once you get back to allowing your body to properly produce these things, and you get understanding and you start to heal, you realize that you don't really have a need for them because you were using them to fill a void that you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually couldn't feel for yourself.
Right.
So, I thought that was dope, especially as you get through the album. It's like, okay, she's starting to get a sense of understanding and building herself back up, because I don't know if you noticed it, excuse me, but the relationship was a huge vice too. So much so that even at the end of the album, in the outro, she's still kind of trying to backslide.
Everybody can't go.
It's like, look, bro, like you said you was through with him.
Yeah.
Leave him be.
Yeah.
Don't let the nigga dance, or the girl, because she said she bi-coastal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, everybody can't go. Like, and you are more important than anything else at this point in time. You know what I mean? So once you get that understanding that protecting your peace and protecting everything that keeps you operating at optimal efficiency is more important than anybody, because nobody can give you what you be missing if you sacrifice it. And no vice can do that for you either.
And the next thing I wanted to get into and learn in terms of like the fame and the industry stuff, I feel as though she really went into details about a lot of her inner thoughts on how her peers and her family view her now, and she wonders how she gained the position and how long it's gonna last. One example I have of that is in the song Death Row, in the first verse. She said, "I contemplate how did it ever get like this. I contemplate how did it ever get rich or get this bag. I wonder if what the label see in this bitch is what she said. I wonder what the label see in a bitch
this black.
Yeah, I wonder what my friends all think when I'm not there. I love the way my ideas flow when I'm not scared. I love the way my hips roll slow, but I don't like the way it feels when my vices are absent.
And I'm not there. Yeah.
So she clearly like struggling with, like you said, backsliding on, like, you understand what these vices do to you, but you love the way it makes you feel and how it helps you create that you feel a little bit lost when it's not there. And you get to thinking and worrying about things that you shouldn't even really be thinking about in terms of how these label people view you and your dark skin, or how do you think your family feel about you when you're not there. Those aren't things that's like not conducive to you moving forward. It's only going to hinder you and make you worry about things that you shouldn't be worried about. So I really thought that was important, because she did that a lot. Well, not a lot, but she mentions it a couple other times.
And then she said something prior to that, cause what song is this? Death Row, right?
Death Row, yeah.
Let me go to the verse. Give me 1 second, cause she said something starting. What's she saying?
What's it, the bad business?
Fall to my knees, take a line. I needed a boost. Stumble inside of the booth, mumbling none of the truth. So,
oh yeah, I did.
It just gets to like where she was saying, for the most part, even from the beginning, speed the freeway when I need a breeze, wine in Chinese when I feel uneasy, fall to my knees, take a line, I needed the boost, stumble inside of the booth, mumbling none of the truth. So she says in that portion, like, dang, I forgot what I was going to say. But there is a foreshadowing of dishonesty, or just the inability to discuss what's really going on.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to see when you're in that fog. And I feel like one of her TDE label mates did a great job of creating an album around that, being Isaiah Rashad with The Sun's Tirade. That entire album was about trying to navigate through the haze of vices, and not just vices, but just uncertainty, bouts of depression, the process of going through the ups and downs with the label, your new position in life as this artist for this major label, and how the interactions with your family change. So I feel like that small portion, and then leading into the part that DJ quoted, that's basically the rest of the verse, that's what she's discussing. You know what I mean? And one line that stuck out to me a lot was when she said, I love the way my ideas flow when I'm not scared. And that goes back to that earlier part, you know what I mean? Stumbling into the booth, mumbling none of the truth.
Yeah.
When you have a certain level of fear with sharing how you really feel, you're going to continue to put out things that, surface level things that don't put you in a level of transparency where you have to be uncomfortable with the truth. And I feel like In Denial Is a River, that kind of like started the process in this album for me, or this project for me, where she had somebody who was willing to like try to help her constructively get through these things. And she's like, man, I can't even cap. This is a really tough time for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I love that it doesn't take a triple entendre to get these thoughts across, because these are very complex thoughts when you look at them from the macro, you know what I mean? And it shows us the very in-depth and multi-layered process that you could go through, not just as a person, but as a person who's trying to do all the things she's trying to accomplish as an artist. Because a lot comes with that. A lot is in the lane of presentation. You can't come across as a person who's falling apart because that's not appealing to the label. They're not going to want to invest in that. You know what I mean? The fans don't necessarily want to see that unless you're a certain artist, and you really can't look the part. You just have to kind of put it in your music. You know what I mean? So I thought that it was dope that how she slowly started to break down those walls of that and not necessarily just throw it all in one song, because it's not just one day that she was going through this stuff. It's a journey to realizing it and then making her way through it.
And another thing about, as far as just like industry politics, as far as just her trying to, like you said, come to the understanding of what's going to be real for her, but also she want to make money, bro. She not into this shit, doing this shit for free. She want to make money. So, and that was how a lot of her, you know, struggle with, you know, her label, because she ready to put out stuff, and they're in the ballpark of slow rolling things, making sure everything is right. I mean, look at SZA. SZA had the same type of issues in terms of them not thinking the music is good enough, but she want to go ahead and put it out. It's the same thing. And I kind of like, now this is just my interpretation of what I feel as though the album title means. It kind of goes into that. Alligator Bites Never Heal, and this song in particular, Death Row. I don't know if you ever heard this before, but like when alligators, when they bite down and they lock, and then you see them do that twist and they turn, they call that either the death roll or barrel roll.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
I look at what she named this title, Alligator Bites Never Heal, is her coming in, taking the bite out of the industry, making her place, making her presence known, and the bite never heals because she gonna stay in your face. She here to stay. So yeah, that death roll, that bite down that she's doing with her introduction right now with music, I think that was a metaphor of her saying that I'm gonna be here for a while. So you ain't gonna never heal off this bite I just gave you, because I'm gonna stay in your face all the time. And I thought that was that. Like I said, that's just me. That's what I got from it, because I've heard of the death roll, or some people say barrel roll, but I say death roll.
I got you.
So I thought that was really cool. 'Cause I was just wondering, what does that mean, other than like represent her being from Florida?
I kind of took it like trauma, from the perspective of, you know, the alligator bites, like you said, that's from Florida. So like, I think it's a coming of age thing, because like I said, like healing through understanding. So with that being said, she went through so much stuff in her formative years and into her early 20s. She considered those the alligator bites, and they don't heal in the perspective that she's in now, because she's been through so much, and she may not be at that point of certain trauma. You never necessarily recover from it. It's just you get better and better at dealing with it every day. So like from the perspective of an addict, you're never not an addict. Yeah. Every day is just an active day of recovery. You know what I mean? Or active day of pursuing sobriety. The self-worth things that she has, some of those things never go away. You see people who are 75 still getting plastic surgery because somebody told them they had a big nose when they was 18. You know what I mean?
Crazy, bro.
Dealing with the insecurity and all of that stuff that comes with being in the limelight. Trying to be available to the family and understanding that some of that stuff just will not happen. You will not always be available. So I looked at it like that. In the process that it took you to get here, you do have some wounds that you feel like in the moment will never heal. And a good way to represent that would be alligator bites, because, you know, those teeth big as hell. Yeah. And they leave large holes, like those relationship issues she went through, those drug issues she went through, the stuff that she went through, with just how she viewed herself, you know, the stuff with the label. And I want to talk about that when we get to Boom Bap. Yeah. But just all of that stuff together just can create like large wounds that she at this point in time just felt like will never heal. But like I said, time heals all things, and with proper understanding, you'll at least be able to approach those wounds with a healing nature and being able to nurture yourself as you continue to grow.
And also, too, now that you say that, it kind of makes me think about another verse she had on the song Prophet. her being from Florida and representing the alligator bites, she didn't feel like she had the support of her city.
Yep.
Coming up, she was like, I was playing father figure, now I'm making 6 now. Who would have thought that Jayla Hickman would be a hit now? I rep my city, desperate the fact that they hated me. I'm breaking bread with bitches like catering. I'm making peace with the fact that I'm going pop and shit, and I'm making popping shit, but I'm still popping shit.
Yeah,
like
I like that.
That's fire to me,
I like
bro.
that.
That's fire. Like you saying a lot without having to say a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of fire. And,
shout out to Nicki Minaj too.
What?
That flow, the catering.
Oh yeah,
they hated me. That's old school. That's old school.
That's what beat me up, Scotty.
Yeah, that's old Nicki right there. And I appreciate how I feel like she's Doja Cat, not evil.
Doja Cat is a whole other light.
She's the antithesis to Doja Cat. Like, we feel like Doja Cat can rap, but she's not a rap artist, right?
Yeah.
And we feel like she's super on the bubblegum side, but she has the talent to coexist. I feel like a lot of the issues that hip hop heads may have with Doja Cat, Doja represents all of the things that we would want Doja Cat to do. And ironically, they mesh together very well.
That's so crazy. Doja Cat is crazy.
Them being and not evil, cause
yeah, I know.
Cause it turns into a colorism thing, and I don't want to say evil.
Yeah, she's
the pure hip hop version. If there was a hip hop template for a person with this skill set, it would be Doja. If there was a pop template with this skill set, it would turn into Doja Cat. That's what I mean, not evil. My bad.
And in terms of just like her place, like I would really like to be a fly on the wall in terms of like at TDE in terms of like what they really like their vision for shit.
We want shit to be good. They said they are very particular with quality control.
Yeah.
Because I think the label's job is to think beyond the artist.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because she says like the route that she's on now in terms of the shit like what it is, they didn't support that. It just happened like that. My label hate the direction I'm going in. They want to knock my shit, stick to the plan, ignore them. I can't acknowledge it. They make statues of critics. They don't make statues of fans. I'm no politician. I can't be shaking them hands. Fuck modest. Fuck polish. Fuck the politics. I pledge allegiance to the motherfucking prophet, bitch. And she looking at it like, this shit is a hit.
Yeah.
I want to go down this road. Why can't I do this shit?
Because we understand, and I'm speaking for TDE.
Yeah.
I'm not affiliated in any way, form or fashion. But from their perspective, it's like, ma'am, we brought in Kendrick, we brought in SZA, we brought in Q, we brought in Soul, we brought in J-Rock, we brought in Sir, we brought in Isaiah Rashad. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So if we're telling you to pull back from something, we may not be right all the time, but we have enough foresight from all of the work that we've put in to maybe help you understand that you don't want to put yourself in a position where there isn't a lot of longevity.
Yeah.
Because they probably was like, shit, hey, you go too pop, you might get in a position where the song end up being bigger than you and you can't pivot from it.
Mm-hmm. And you stuck in that.
Prime example. Like, I think her name Tinashe.
Tinashe, yeah.
The nasty girl. Mm-hmm. She just caught one. When was the last time Tinashe's name was being brought up?
Shit, like 2000.
My point exactly.
12,
so
13.
Now she's finna have a hard time trying to escape from up under the nasty girl because she doesn't have anything built from I don't really know her like that. But if she was bigger as an artist, I would know more of her. That's what I'm saying.
Nasty Girl is basically like 2 on. That's a big single back then. Remix.
Yeah, so
that's pretty much.
So let's say she got those 2 songs. For some artists, you can leverage a successful career, success in quotes, because everybody views success differently. But TDE's like, we want to build artists with longevity. Mm-hmm. And we understand how to do that. And that's quality control, and that's maintaining a specific vision.
Yeah.
Now, you may not feel like that's conducive to with what you've envisioned in this present moment, but they understand what's best for the artist. Mm-hmm. And your job is to work with them to help carve out your specific trajectory. You know what I mean?
And I think that's why neither one of the songs that she mentioned that's really big for her is not even on this project.
Yeah, but I also think that those songs, when they came out, that it's been so long since they came out that it would have been weird to put it on here.
But if they trying to do the numbers game, that's just extra streaming.
They said that shit don't count no more. At least that's what I heard. When you try to introduce a song to the album like that, it doesn't count towards the album.
Oh, okay.
Unless fair it's enough. I think it has to be in the active cycle, but you can't just add it in. You know what I mean?
And then boost the numbers.
It doesn't work like that.
Damn.
Okay, so let's get to boom bap, because we was just discussing Prophet anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like boom bap is a direct follow up to Prophet.
Yeah,
but I also feel like boom bap is her being catty with the label.
Absolutely. I just can't sing a little bit. I mean, that shit was a hit. You know exactly what it is.
And that's the part I want to get to.
Yeah.
This whole what it is scheme
is fire.
Is an entendre. This whole thing is a double entendre.
Yeah.
Like, the initial thing is like, you know what it is. But no, she like, no. The mamas know what it is. They know this song.
Yeah.
And y'all and everybody just can't see what it is. And at that point, she like, when she was saying what it is at that point, she was like, y'all just can't see the forest for the trees. Like, I'm sitting on some shit.
Yeah.
Like, this song is doing well, and you asking me for boom bap. And she said, they want me to rap. They want some rap from a chick. Like, they are rapping the chick. Hold on, let me go back because I want to read.
Yeah.
They want real rap from a chick. Like, they out rapping the chick, but she can clap a little bit. Do that. They ain't saying shit. That ass a magnet. I get it. You know, attractive and shit. I just can't sing a little bit. I mean, that shit was a hit. You know exactly what it is. The choir gonna sing what it is. Top 100, what it is. Numero uno, what it is. Favorite song, what it is. Turn me on, what it is. Even the moms know what it is, but y'all niggas can't see what it is. She was upset with the label. And when you look at it from the perspective, when she said, get Top on the phone. Get Top on the phone. She was pissed. But she did it in an artistic way to make it not seem like the sentiment should dominate the song without being artistic, which is into the Big Sean conversation we was having in another episode. But she goes into the point where she's like, it boom, and it bap, and it bounce, and it clap, and it's house, and it's trap. It's everything.
Yeah.
I'm everything. I want to defy any particular box that you want to put me in. So I feel like this song was definitely a manifesto to the label of, you, like, don't put me in any particular box. You know what I mean? I know this label is known for rapping, but I can do other things too, and I can incorporate all of these styles into a conducive project, which I feel like Alligator Bites Never Heal is. I feel like this is her version of Sylvia Demo. Sylvia Demo from Isaiah Rashad was released at least a decade ago on TDE, and it was his first formal project, but it was a showcase of many different levels of his versatility, his influences, his skill level, his thoughtfulness, his introspection, his ability to make bops, his ability to stand next to those higher level TDE artists at the time and not feel overwhelmed or overshadowed on a song. That's the only thing that this project didn't have was features. And for her to be able to get through this project all the way through, outside of I think the song GTFO, I think that's the only song they got, and it's a background vocal on Wait. But other than that, I think it's just her.
Yeah, it's just her.
So, with that being said, she showcased so much on this project, and I feel like with the song Boom Bap, she rapped some, you know what I mean, but she sung some, and then she popped her shit from the perspective of, hey man, I ain't just no rapper, but I can rap really well, and I don't feel like nobody fucking with me on no rap shit. And then it goes right into Nissan Altima, which was the lead single, which was a rap heavy song, basically a freestyle. You know what I mean? So
her backseat freestyle.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was dope. And I feel like for it to be a quote unquote mixtape, it is sequenced very, very well. You know what I mean? It's not just a bunch of songs that's thrown together as like quote unquote throwaways or whatever. This is a very streamlined project, and that's what makes it so dope for me, on top of her showcasing all of these styles. Like on what song is that? The Gang's All Here. What song is that? No Chip Peanuts. On My Show. Okay. When she on that whole sounding like she on
Missy Elliott.
Not just that, but it sound like some shit from Wu-Tang.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
The gang's all here. No chip on my shoulders. Like that shit sound like something from Wu-Tang. So it just shows that that how engulfed she is in just hip hop and the different styles and the different genres. Cause she has a song like that, and then we'll have a song like Slide, or a song like Fireflies, you know what I mean? Or a song like Wait, and a song like Stankapool, which almost sounds like disastrous, you know what I mean? Like I'm like all like going through all of the different ways that she could fall off, or all of the ways that she could just not exist no more. And she said, if that's all I'm worried about, I'm finna kill y'all living or dead, and then go through and give y'all all of these different flows, different styles, different sounds throughout this project.
Speaking of flows, real quick, just and then you can go back. She had a flow on here that sounded so Kendrick. It was so it was on Hide and Seek, the third verse. If you want to go to it. Hold on. Man, like bro, I
think I know what you're talking about.
I can literally hear Kendrick saying this shit. Head on straight, the head is right, focus sharp like a focus right.
He did. Well, he didn't say that. But fuck, I was thinking about that. Shit, go ahead. Because
I don't. Yeah, focus sharp like a focus right. Pleasing me is a luxury. Please don't. Please tell me you won't kill my vibe. Pray and I prayed till the pain away. Pray to the Lord till it rain again. Fade away, straight away. I can tell you're not paid. Benjamins and Franklins might have to hit the bank again. Deposit what you owe, but don't ask me for your check again. Fee, fi, flow, flump to the top until I fall again. Like it just, I'm not saying it right, but if you heard like how she was saying, like it sounded like something Kendrick was saying.
Yeah, especially this head on straight and the head is right. Focus sharp like a focus right. It sounded like early Kendrick, like Section 80. I can't remember where I've heard it from, but it and I don't want to sit on it too long, no did it, but it definitely sounds like some shit straight out of like an old Kendrick playbook. I'm still trying to think, bro.
I know you know, bro.
I'm still trying to think. Fuck.
My bad,
cuz. Cause I thought about it too. I just can't remember what particular song it is. Shit. Hold on, man. hold on. Cause if we have to turn this far down to song, we will.
Damn. My fault. Head on straight. Head is right.
It may be old Ab Soul.
Shot like a focus, right?
I can't remember. Fuck it.
It's all good.
But it definitely has remnants of Section 80, OD, that era of Kendrick. Because by the time he got to Good Kid, Mad City, that nigga was a full blown professional. But yeah, this definitely does sound like the early elements of Kendrick. Let me see. Let me go to Stankapool real quick. I want to start going through some of these lyrics that made a point to what we were saying earlier when she was just talking about all the bad things that can happen, and if she survives them, she'll be all right. What's that? Who's that creeping through my rear view? 30-something. I'm not nervous. I'm just concerned for us. What if I die a tourist? What if I die on purpose? What if it wasn't even worth it? What if I'm walking alone? What if I choke on a Slurpee? What if I make it big? What if my car exploded while I'm casually pumping gas while smoking this cig? What if my life was loaded pile of whole lot of bills and a whole lot of kids? That's it. And if those the only fears that I'll take to my grave, I'm pissing on you hoes, living or dead. You know what I mean? So it's like, with all of that, all of these, if I'm really just if I'm really getting hung up on a bunch of hypotheticals, yeah, I'm finna go crazy. And there ain't nothing you can do to stop me from getting what I'm supposed to get. And I want to say something from Boiled Peanuts real quick, because I think you kind of hit some of this other stuff. Let me see. Boiled Peanuts, easy breezy. Easy, breezy, beautiful, erratic, scattermind, manic, borderline, addict. I try to take the sober route and end up on a dead end. Not everything I joke about just ends up on a Reddit. So I think
Gator skin coat, Florida heat.
No joke.
Feeling like a Tiger King. Bitches
One
want
more
Joe.
I thought that was
fire.
I thought that was joke, 'cause what's that nigga name? Joe. What's that nigga name from the Tiger show, from the Tiger shit? What's his name? Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic. The little freaky nigga. That was a dope line I like. But yeah, the easy breezy, beautiful, erratic, scattermind, manic, borderline addict. I try to take the sober route and end up on a dead end. Not everything I joke about just ends up on the Reddit. So when you doing drugs, you say some wild stuff, man. Like, and when you try to go sober and you're not necessarily committed to it, that dead end just ends up with you going through a state of relapse and being back on it. So when you get to having those quote unquote Meek Mill moments where you know, popping up saying stuff on social media, those back channels like Reddit are going to be the house for all of these things where all of these fans who are terminally online will theory craft and make all of these assumptions about your life based on what you saying when you on and off the juice. You know what I mean? So her sobriety was very important because the look that she's going for with the alligator bites never heal is like very preppy, very private school, distinguished, dignified. So it seems like she's stepping into a point where she has so much more autonomy and she's trying to present herself in the best way. And I think that's where the long skirts with the dressy shoes.
Yeah,
and
I see it now.
Yeah. I think that is a representation of her presenting as her best self. Because, you know, like in the South, when you go to church, you put your best stuff on. And church is the part of Black life, especially in those younger years where it's all about presentation.
But she's also spinning it with her own little flair because you still got the braids being true to my authentic Black self. Yeah. It's just like a visual representation of that. So I like that now that you say that.
And holding the source of her trauma, the alligator.
Ooh. It's a white one too. Albino.
I don't know what that do, and I don't never want to know what that do. And you already hit the part from Skip. The denial is a river part. It's kind of more so just like her talking about the stuff with the label, where she was talking about. She said platinum record this, viral record that. Let me see. It ain't gonna do it. Control platinum. Okay, platinum record this, vinyl record that. I'm making so much money, I'm all over the net. I'm moving so fast, no time to process. And no, I'm not in no gang, but I'm always on set. Wristwatch, drip drop, labels want the TikTok. Now I'm making TikTok music. What the F? I need cleanse, need a detox, but we ain't got time to stop. The charts need us. You know what I mean? So that also goes to show like how you were saying with the fame and things are going so fast. There's sometimes it's not a lot of time to put your foot in the sand and make decisions that are for you because you have this fear where if you make the wrong choice, it could be over. So she speaks on the regret with ended up at one point in time, I'm basically a TikTok artist, not making music that she wanted to make and also making music that's only formulated to be viewed on social media.
Which is these minute 30 second, minute 45 second songs that you can easily loop for a video. So it's just, you're not able to get to the real meat and potatoes of your music.
Yeah, and she not able to discuss her displeasure, you know what I mean? Because not only is she going through that, she said she need to cleanse, she need a detox. So she got stuff going on internally when you go in with the drug stuff. So she just in this whirlwind. She basically in her son's tirade of a, experience, and it's kind of it was getting the best of her at that specific point in time.
And I like when you said when you mentioned that she feels like she doesn't have enough time to do things throughout the day. I just want to say a little quote. I don't know who this was that she was talking to on Bloom, or who was talking to her rather. Sound like auntie,
maybe or a therapist or something.
Therapist or something. But she was saying, God made a day 24 hours. It's not a lot of time. You can't do it all in one moment. There's past, present, and future. You got to put the pieces in place. It's 24 hours. You take part of those hours, you do what you can do, and you go to bed. And I thought that was just like so simple and concise. And it's like to basically say that, no, you can't do it all at once. But as long as you have the pieces in place to set you up, that's all you need to do. You can just build on that, the pieces that you build as your foundation.
What Big Sean said, I think I need to get more organized. And I think that's a very important part of, like, when your life is hectic, organization allows you to properly allocate for certain things, and it allows you to prioritize.
But you can't get organized and be priority, and have that priority without discipline.
That too. And that's very important.
If you don't have the discipline, you can't get stuff organized because you don't have the discipline to follow it.
And I think that the chorus is about prioritizing and about discipline.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was one of the songs that kind of had me like, yeah, this is in the vein of Sylvia Demo. Because...
Which one? Oh, Wait.
Wait. This song... Oh, yeah. I mean to say it. So, Wait, the chorus is poetic from the perspective of it's not necessarily straight up telling you what the point is that it's trying to drive home.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Rashad did this a lot, not only through his career, but he did this a lot on Sylvia Demo, where he would say, like on Thank God for a Brutus, Thank God for a Caesar. I can't remember what song that was, but the chorus is, it almost feel like it's all around the place, but you just got to take certain parts and like put it together that way, because the chorus isn't just like telling you one specific thing. But this
this the one, delete your call log. Yeah. Okay, I got that.
But it say no need to bring fall back in August, September. You should just fall back and wait. And who wants to clear the fog and all the smog? And it sounds like something he wrote too.
Yeah.
If you down pitch this, it sounds like Isaiah Rashad. Who want to clear the fog and all the smog and all your mirrors? Like, it sounds like Isaiah Rashad song, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Because it's just his unorthodox style of writing. But like I said, no need to bring fall back in August, September. You should just fall back and wait. Who wants to clear the fog and all the smog in your mirrors when you can just fall back and wait? Delete your call log and clear your agenda. You should just eat what's on your plate.
Yes.
And that last part is what started to click for me.
Yeah.
It's like when you go back and listen to Bloom, it's just like you got so much that you're worried about, but the only way that you can get to all of this stuff is first and foremost focus on what's immediately in front of you. And that's what I took from delete your call log and clear your agenda. You should just eat what's on your plate. Like, what's in front of you first. Whatever the most pressing issue is, let's start there. Or let's start with what's easiest. Let's knock that out. Let's get some confidence going so we can start to knock out the more challenging or more time-consuming things of your day. And that way you feel better about it and you don't find yourself in a perpetual state of disappointment because you feel like you're not able to get these things done. And that can be a very, very dark, never-ending road. Yeah. So that realization, especially when it happened in the album too, or the project, it just seems like, okay, now we're starting to get back to ourselves. Now we're starting to take some new knowledge and use that towards pulling myself together. And she said in the first verse, she said, what do you think will happen? You wait on it like a laxative. Life is just like a settlement waiting on you to cash on it. Life is just like a bike. It don't move unless you pedaling. Less about who is better and more about who blessing them. Okay, so with that part, especially less about who is better and more about who blessing them, find your center. Because if you looking at it from that perspective of who's being blessed, that means somebody is spiritually centered.
Yeah.
So if you right with God, them blessings gonna come. As far as trying to continue to move forward yourself, you fighting a losing battle because you don't have that higher power, ordering your steps and putting you in the places where you should be, because you trying to go what J. Cole said, good news, nigga, you went a long way. Bad news is you went the wrong way. So when you look at it from that perspective, the amount of work you do by yourself is minuscule compared to the work that you can do with God on your side. You know what I mean? So if you only worried about the stuff that a person can do, you're removing the element of what God can do for you or that person. And so you're not even perceiving stuff as being blessings. You are already thinking about what you did. So you living in that position of pride, and you'll never, and that's what makes depression even worse, because you're putting everything on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So pride comes before the fall. So I thought that was very interesting.
Man, at the end of the verse, and I think it kind of ties into what you're saying. She said, I need some standing ovations since y'all can't seem to understand me. I might look fly in the Matrix. I hope I'm sticking my landing.
I thought that was so fire.
It is.
Bro, I'm a nerd, bro. I just love Matrix, but I just love how ingratiated the Matrix, just the concept of it, has gotten in everyday, the everyday lexicon. But with that, I thought that was dope because I thought about the jump program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm hoping I stick my landing.
And how everybody is, inside the jump program, you're supposed to jump from one building to another. And it's a thing about, you see me flying from one building to the next, but I'm hoping I stick my landing because that's a matter of faith. And that goes back into the earlier part in the verse of it's more about who's blessing them.
Yeah.
So if you're not moving with the prerequisite amount of faith, you're not going to stick that landing. And although they see you looking fly during the attempt, if you don't land on your feet because you're not grounded and centered in nothing, you know what I mean? That moment in the sky will be short-lived, and you're going to end up like a lot of the other people who didn't properly believe when they got in the jump program and fall flat on their face. So I thought that was dope.
But also, too, even with that, you have to understand that you're not perfect.
Yeah.
So in taking these chances, you can't be afraid to fail. And I think that's why, who said it? Yeah, everybody falls on their first time. And then
Cypher, I think.
Cypher, yeah. Cypher, he said everybody falls on their first time. And when you do fall, this is why I feel as though you can't be afraid to fail, because, yeah, you hit the ground, but it's bouncy. Mm-hmm. You bounce straight back up from it. Try it again. So even though, yeah, you didn't make it, get back up, see what you did wrong, and try again. It's always that cycle until you master what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
So.
And with that, what you're saying is fear lives in the absence of faith.
Yeah.
So worrying about how it's gonna feel to hit the ground takes you out of the prospect of believing that you can even make it to the next building. Right. So that fear is weighing you down from walking in the faith.
Because instead of Neo just going up there and just jumping, what's the first thing he do? He walked straight over to the ledge and looked down. Exactly,
because he more focused on what can happen, what negative can happen.
Yeah.
And I like the beginning part of the second verse. What she said, I hope I'm coming off chill, hope I'm keeping it real, hope that people feel safe when they enter my crib, because that's like your innermost sanctum. So your house is some people believe, and as a homeowner, I'm starting to believe it too. It's and your car, and a lot of, because it shows stewardship, which is another biblical term too. You have to be a good steward of stuff, because that's how God decides if you're worthy of other things. Like how you treat things just shows how gracious you are in the gift being given to you by him as well. But she say, I'm still a baby by day, bad chick by night, still applying my gloss from red to green light. And that part, the applying the gloss, to me, it felt like I'm still trying to get it together. And I find moments to do that. It's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
And whenever I get an opportunity to work on myself, I'm doing that. And that's what the applying the gloss. Like I'm still a work in progress. Bear with me. Like I ain't where I want to get yet, but I'm still working. And anytime I get a chance to, i.e. a red light, I'm going to apply that gloss to continue to dress myself up.
And real quick, as far as the stewardship aspect that you mentioned, and it may be something oh so simple, but when you live in clutter and dysfunction, you can't focus. That's why it's better to keep your things in order and clean. It gives you a better mindset to see what it is that you need to do, because everything is where it needs to be. And in terms of you valuing what you have in order to get new things, when people come into your stuff, they looking at, oh, this is how you keep your things up. This is how you value certain things. So you'll be ready to move on to the next thing when it's time for it, because like you said, you took care of what you were blessed with initially. So
and your good thing will last longer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was about to. You had just said something. You was talking about the stewardship, and I can't remember. I was going to say something. I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's just really because you just made me think about that. I'm just like, when you live in chaos, that's pretty much how your life go. I mean, I know it's a such thing as, I think people call it organized dysfunction or organized chaos. Like, you know how to navigate through chaos, but that's not how it's necessarily meant to be.
Yeah.
It just so happened that you made it that way because you refuse to do things in a way that would be more beneficial to your lifestyle. You just learn to navigate through the chaos that you caused yourself. So
this is true.
So I never really understood that concept of organized dysfunction, or what, I forgot the exact
organized term. Is organized chaos.
Oh, okay. I never understood that.
It's another phrase, but not to get caught up on that. We just finished.
That was
weight, and then we already did Death Row. We did Profit. That's kind of where like the introspection stops for me.
Yeah.
It comes back on Fireflies, but it's not like really
heavy,
like lyrically heavy. It's just more so like a song about reconnection.
Right.
GTFO with her and I guess Cunt Fetish. That's a wild name, but I like that song. It it's upbeat. It's cool. Hum was another cool song. Slide, that was DJ.
Slide.
The track for DJ. It reminded me of one of the songs from Lotto last project.
Yeah.
Ooh. And
Lotto on that will be fire. On Slide.
It would have.
Yes, sir.
Fireflies, like I said, that's the song about just relationships and possibly backsliding and trying to find something new and all this other stuff. Just cool little artistic way of talking about relationships. Beverly Hills, her and the dude or her and the girl, they through with each other. It's like, let me shit on you. You can shit on me. We can believe whatever we want to believe. Maybe we ain't meant for each other anyway. And then Alligator bites never heal. She's asking, would you dance with me? So it's like almost on some Igor type shit where it's like, can we still be friends? Whatever the case is, like,
can we be friends?
where it hasn't really
long ago.
It hasn't really hit them yet that we probably ain't even good to be around each other.
Yeah.
So the toxic trait in you is like, let's just be cool, because you haven't gotten the closure that you need yet, when the closure is the realization that y'all not good for each other.
And let's just stay cool just in case that we finally get our shit together. You'll already be right there. I don't have to search too far for you to go get you.
Nah. Y'all need to grow apart.
Yeah. You can't keep that in your back pocket. If you keep having contingencies in your back pocket for relationships, and this one thing personally that I know I was guilty of in the past that I've gotten a whole lot better at. That's why I feel as though I have been in a relationship. I have been as long as I have. You just let go of them contingencies, because if it was meant for you, it will always be there, or you would have it.
And also, you'll never allow yourself to be truly accountable, because you feel, okay, this one ain't working. I can go back to some shit I had brewing on the side anyway. You know what I mean?
And you can never be fully invested with the person that you're with if you just keep having that in your back pocket. You're not giving them your full self.
Exactly. And you're not working on yourself, because it's just whoever's fault. It's like, whoever right for me gonna take me as I am. No, my good sir or good ma'am, you need to improve, and maybe that person will fall into your life. Maybe that person will come around when you're ready, or at least when one of y'all ready, and that person will help make you ready, help pull those pieces apart. But you got to be in a position to be willing to accept that. And if not, you're gonna continue to be going back and forth with the same person trying to make some shit work that don't work. And now you in the rain talking about, will you dance with me? And it's just like, it's not gonna work. And then the person still got to tell you at the end, everybody can't go.
With multiple kids.
And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You got any closing thoughts on this project?
One thing I am happy about, I'm glad that she's not in a rush or eager to just like try to follow this up. Mm-hmm. Let it sit for a while. Let us digest it for a while. I think this is a good enough first entry point that it can sit for a minute.
See you in 2026.
Yeah.
Well, she probably drop something next year, maybe.
Yeah. Like a single or something. I'm fine with that. But you ain't got to turn right around and try to follow this up. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, we good.
Yeah. Because I think what the treatment that she's about to get from this, like, she already has a tour situated. And a lot of those dates are already sold out. Yeah. So I said it to say a lot of artists drop their first project or their first album, and then they go on tour. So she's gonna be already exposed to that. All of that stuff won't be new when she drop her first album.
Yeah.
And when she get them big features and all of this stuff, she gonna already have a run. She gonna already be accustomed to performing. She already gonna be accustomed to traveling, already doing press runs, all of this stuff. So I just think this is another step in her artistic development. So when she actually drop her album, she's gonna be prepared all the way around. SZA got 2 albums. Control came out in 2017, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
And SOS came out in 2023, right? It came out last year, right? Or did it come out in 22?
I think 22.
Okay, so she got 2 albums in almost 10 years. And she is
22.
uber successful. So the amount isn't always as important when the quality of the amount is top notch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that shouldn't even be the process that you going through this with. I know as an artist you want to put stuff out. You see your what you call it? Your peers, potentially it seems like they're moving further along than you. But if you drop an album that does a lot of the groundwork that they've been doing with 4 or 5 projects, and even so you surpass them, then you understand the vision. Yeah. Then you see like, damn, like this album did such and such. My peers not doing that. You know what I mean? I'm able to get this and this and that. Like, look at Jid. Like, he doing stuff that his peers not doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So your plan is not always as big as the plan of the higher power, and I'm saying like the label, God, like anybody, you know what I mean? That's over you, who's trying to help you navigate, because they see stuff from a perspective and a plateau that you don't. So sometimes you just got to trust the vision, and I think that's the biggest thing about TDE, helping the artist trust the vision and allowing the artist to be artists in that process.
Because every artist on that label has talent.
Yeah.
Like, it's been shown, it's been proven.
Every single one.
At this point, like, they haven't released a single dud. Like, every artist is great that they've released, except for, Reason didn't really come out with a full-length album.
No, he dropped a couple.
You sure? Or
yeah.
were they mixtapes?
Well, I think the first one was a re-released mixtape. And then I think whatever he dropped, was that last year? Porches? I think Porches was his first official TDE project.
Okay. Well, outside of Reason, they haven't had a single dud. Like, everyone has been on spot on. So it's just trust the process, I guess, at this point.
That's exactly what it says to me, man. Just trust the process. Have faith in the label who has produced this level of talent and success in this amount of time.
Absolutely.
Like, TDE ain't nothing but 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, and look what they've produced.
Yep. Let
them boys rock, man. They not gonna lead you wrong. Yeah. As long as you stand focused and you stand like in your artist development bag or just growing as a person and as an artist, you're gonna be fine. when it's time, they're gonna pull that trigger and they're gonna put all the resources behind you.
Yeah.
And they're gonna make sure you get what you're supposed to get.
That great project, man.
Exactly.
I can't wait to hear more.
Top 5 of the year. And when we do our top 10, because it seemed like the music finna slow down, so we gonna go back and start reviewing some of the old stuff, start doing some revisits and all of that stuff while we're compiling our top 10 list of the year. And I'm thinking we're gonna go live. We're gonna do a live on YouTube. Okay. That'll be our first live, our top 10 of the year.
Okay.
And we'll let a couple people call in, and then we can chop that up. But yeah, man, shout out to Doja, great project, TDE. Y'all been doing what y'all doing. Y'all know what y'all doing. Yeah. If you liked it and you made it this far, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to become a decoder, the link to that will be embedded in the description. And until next time, we out of here, man. Peace.